Gemini full moon December 2025. Insights and horoscopes during a full moon. Something from the past is often illuminated. Whether you recycle through emotions or gain intuitive and instinctual insight, the full moon allows you to check in and take stock of where you have been. Sometimes a full moon can be the completion of a cycle, and if that is the case, you may want to revisit the Gemini new moon that occurred on May 26, 2025. However, if your personal cycle is longer, this full moon can act as the halfway point. You could have experienced a major shift during the lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 7th or the solar eclipse on September 21st of this year. With the Gemini full moon on December 4th at approximately 5:14 p.m. Central Standard Time and the Sagittarius new moon on December 19th, we are at the midpoint between the Virgo-Pisces eclipses from the autumn and the ones that will arrive in the spring. As we move toward the end of 2025 and into the shifts that 2026 brings, this can be a time of reflection and an adjustment when it comes to the course that you are on. Keep in mind, some lunation cycles are subtle while others bring significant change. If your moon, sun or ascendant is an immutable sign, this lunation may feel more powerful than it will for someone whose moon, sun and ascendant are not in Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius or Pisces. This full moon occurs at 13 degrees and 3 minutes, with the north and south nodes at 13 degrees and 43 minutes. You may feel challenged to have compassion for those you have built a wall against due to judgments you have made. The nodal square invites you to question your beliefs and examine where they may prevent you from connecting with others, especially those you disagree with. The lesson is to cultivate a spiritual perspective of interconnectivity. This does not mean condoning actions you oppose, but rising above and taking a broader view, understanding the historical currents that shape our present. This full moon is an opportunity to extend the olive branch without sacrificing your principles. It invites you to recognize that we are all here having a human experience, each of us a mirror reflecting a small part of a greater whole. Astrological chart for the Gemini full moon on December 4, 2025. Created with Luna Astrology software. Gemini full moon chart for December 4, 2025. Created with Luna Astrology software. Major transits during the full moon. During the Gemini full moon, the Sun will sit between Mars and Venus, creating a conjunction with each. Mars and Venus are not yet conjunct with one another, but that will happen later in the month. We may feel a need to express ourselves during the full moon, whether through a burst of activity or by socializing. We may also be less tolerant of others while working, especially if we want full ownership of a project. Depending on your own chart, you could also be in the mood to shop or indulge, particularly when it comes to high-ticket items. Mercury can create scattered energy due to its opposition with Uranus. Be mindful of being blunt in your conversations, since Mercury in Sagittarius can speak with a sharp edge or take a long route to make a point, weaving in details that seem irrelevant until they tie together at the end. With Uranus involved, you could find yourself asking questions that cross a boundary, especially if your Mercury is in the early degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius or Pisces. With Mercury's trines to Saturn and Neptune, it is important to stay aware of other people's feelings. Focus on your own work rather than slipping into gossip or prying simply because the topic fascinates you. Mercury represents thought and planning. With Jupiter in trine, along with Saturn, this full moon supports long-term thinking and evaluating the next steps in any project or business venture. When it comes to love, friendships and relationships, Venus brings emotional depth and intensity through its sextile to Pluto. Both planets reside in signs that value freedom, so being unselfish is essential, especially with Venus trine Neptune. The energy encourages giving relationships room to breathe while maintaining a strong commitment. You do not need to keep tabs on each other or sacrifice outside friendships. This full moon can reveal where balance is needed. And with the holidays approaching, ask yourself if you truly need to know every store your partner visits. A bit of space can add excitement and intrigue. When it comes to work life, you may feel self-doubt or discouragement from parents, bosses or other authority figures. Mars square Saturn, combined with Saturn's conjunction to Neptune, can feel like walking through mud. Mars square Saturn adds a sense of fear or hesitation, making it harder to be as effective as you would like. This creates a feeling that forward movement is blocked, as if your work is tied to a false sense of identity. When the outside world feels unpredictable, imposter syndrome can rise, even when things are going well. With Jupiter trine Neptune, you may also look to others for answers, imagining that some teacher or spiritual voice holds the key. The truth is that many of those people are just as lost at sea as you are. So how do you turn your uncertainty into something productive? Jupiter trine Saturn helps, but it encourages you to think long-term rather than focusing on the small details of every action. Saturn's sextile to Uranus in Taurus supports patience and the willingness to integrate new methods into your work. You will not master these changes overnight, but until Saturn re-enters Aries on February 14th, there is an overall sense of improvising your way forward due to the strong Piscean influence. At its core, Gemini energy is curious, and with the Sagittarius sun illuminating the moon, this is a moment to explore new ideas and open yourself to fresh perspectives. The full moon encourages you to follow your curiosity and break out of any ruts that have kept you stagnant. Now that we have discussed the overarching energy of the Gemini full moon, let's look at how the current transits and the moon may be influencing your chart. A bright full moon illuminates the evening sky over the ocean in St. Thomas, casting a shimmering reflection across the water. A small rocky island appears in the center of the scene, with distant hills silhouetted against the deep blue horizon. Soft clouds drift around the moon, creating a calm, serene atmosphere. Full moon rising over the water in St. Thomas. USVI horoscopes by Rising Sign Horoscopes are written from a modern, Western astrology perspective using the whole sign house system. Check your rising sign first, but due to derivative astrology, you may also gain additional insight by reading your sun and moon signs. Aries rising. Your third house is illuminated with this full moon, so make the most of your local environment. You may want to go to a comedy club or watch a funny movie, something that gets you laughing. You may also feel drawn to explore a subject more deeply, especially if it involves travel, law, philosophy, or foundational knowledge. If you are a parent, you may consider joining your local PTA. Lately, you have been thinking about deeper topics that may have surprised you, especially around family and longevity. If you are older, you may be thinking about creating a will or what you want your legacy to be. If you are younger, you may be thinking about how to strengthen your family bonds or your romantic relationship. Spiritually, you may be receiving insights that feel a bit disjointed, as if truths are coming through in fragments rather than clearly. You may also be idealizing someone, especially a teacher, believing they have all the answers. Remember that they have their own internal struggles that you may not see. Clarity will come, especially in 2026, so do not be hard on yourself. If you can this weekend, you may want to visit a museum or a place of culture and learning. Or you may find yourself escaping to the local mall to shop and most likely spending more than you planned. Taurus rising. There could be some disruption in your relationships during the full moon. This does not indicate a breakup. In fact, you could have an aha moment and realize the two of you have been going back and forth on the same issue while saying the exact same thing in different ways. Once this becomes clear, it can reignite a spark between you in a positive way. Be willing to take responsibility for any miscommunication, which can help smooth things over. This is also a great time to connect with friends, especially those who share your broader views or spiritual interests. A yoga practice on the full moon could feel especially meaningful. This week is also favorable for asking for an evaluation at work. Focus on your responsibilities and the ways you have improved your communication and knowledge. There is a strong possibility of receiving a raise, but you may need to demonstrate the work you have done throughout the year. Before taking any meetings, assess what you bring to the table, your values and the actions you have taken. Show how you have supported both yourself and your company. Gemini rising. With the full moon in your first house, the main question to ask yourself is whether you are showing up authentically in your relationships or hiding behind humor and quick wit. This is the time to be fully present with others. Let those closest to you see beyond the jokes and open up emotionally. If you do, it will be well received. Going on a date or planning an adventure with your partner can spark romance, fun and a bit of silliness. A little vulnerability goes a long way. You have likely been thinking seriously about work and whether your job aligns with your true desires. You may feel some self-doubt, even though your mind is sharp and you have been solving problems others overlook. To boost your confidence, make a list of your accomplishments so you are ready for your annual review and can clearly show your value. Restless energy may also be affecting your work life. A sound bath or vibrational experience could help regulate your energy. Your thirst for knowledge may also inspire you to take a nighttime class, especially as the year winds down and new semesters begin. It does not have to be for credit or part of a degree. Choose something that excites you and allows you to meet others with shared interests. Cancer rising. This full moon reminds you that when you blend your spiritual practices into your daily routines, you are more productive and grounded. Breathwork, meditation, or a gratitude process can clear your mind and help you stay organized, giving you the ability to see both details and the bigger picture. You have had a wealth of ideas lately, Maybe too many. Your to-do list is long. This full moon gives you a chance to create a plan. You may feel ready to act on everything at once, but dividing your tasks over the next 1 to 3 months will give you the best chance of completing them. Inspiration is not the issue. Implementation is where you are stretched. Consider using the rule of 3. Choose 3 things to complete each day. 2 should be quick tasks, such as unloading the dishwasher or answering emails. The third is your main focus and may take several days to finish. This helps you stay on track without neglecting simple daily needs. Make time each day to go outside or visit a local coffee shop. Spend time with friends or read something that interests you. This is also a powerful time for writing, especially if you feel called to explore your childhood, your family, or your personal story. Leo rising. This full moon highlights your innermost thoughts and feelings about your social life and professional connections. You tend to be the social butterfly, easily chatting with others. But how many people truly know you, and how many do you genuinely know? Are you relying more on acquaintances than cultivating deep, meaningful friendships? Being the life of the party is fun, but having someone you can confide in, and being that person for others, can enrich your social world. The Gemini full moon is also wonderful for creative expression. Get together with close friends for a night of karaoke or take a pottery class. If you are single, this is an excellent time to attend a mixer and meet like-minded people. If you are in a relationship, plan a date that involves an activity rather than dinner or a passive movie night. Making chocolates or attending a wine tasting can shake up your routine and bring romance back into your couplehood. If your parents are older, this may be a good time to bring up difficult but necessary conversations about their finances and how they want their later years to unfold. Offer support by creating a shared document that outlines important information in case of an emergency. If you have adult children, you can reverse the process and let them know your own plans, assets, and wishes. These conversations can offer peace of mind for everyone and prevent complications later. You may hear a surprise announcement at work soon. A boss or supervisor may be leaving, and there could be an opening for you. However, restructuring is also possible. So take time to review your accomplishments and create a detailed list of your skills. For you, Leo, this is the time to roll up your sleeves, strengthen your connections, show what you bring to the table, and ensure others understand your purpose. Virgo rising. With the full moon in your 10th house, you have an opportunity to illuminate what your heart truly wants in your career. Over the next 7 years, you will be on a path of growth where sudden highs and unexpected changes in your work are possible. Being in the right job for your talents is essential, and leaning into your natural abilities will bring the best results. Family matters may also come into focus. You may be inviting people to your home or making travel plans to visit your hometown, especially if your family still lives there. Some of you may be moving, cleaning, or beautifying your space to prepare for a sale or to secure your deposit. Even if none of these apply, you are likely decorating for the holidays and feeling more connected to your environment than usual. If you are in a serious relationship but not yet married, you may be taking steps toward a commitment, which could explain the potential move. There may be anxiety about whether to stay local or move far away, possibly overseas. The hesitation may stem from family ties and wondering how you would build a new life elsewhere. Overall, this is an exciting time, even if you feel a bit jittery. With the Virgo-Pisces eclipse cycle active, you are in a period of change and discovery. Allow yourself to be open to new possibilities. Your long-term plans may shift, but they are still likely to align with the larger vision you hold for your life. Libra rising. The full moon may illuminate the knowledge you carry and how to capture it in writing or through teaching. You may feel that you need accreditation even if you already have the skills. If you are self-taught, you may be considering what certification would mean for your work. If your company offers training or continuing education, this is a good time to move past self-doubt and take advantage of the opportunity. You may be busy with friends and extended family, attending gatherings or parties. You may even be invited to a company party for an organization you do not work for. Even if you are tempted to decline, consider going. It could give you the break you need and bring new connections, whether platonic or romantic. Staying local and enjoying the season is beneficial, especially since you have had extra responsibilities at work. Social time can make your daily routine easier to manage. When it comes to your habits and routines, you may not realize how far you have come. You have likely made meaningful improvements to your health and taken ownership of your well-being. Healthy routines take time to show their full benefit, and your progress will continue in the months ahead. Financial concerns may be on your mind. You may be worried about whether your resources will hold their value or if you need to save more. This does not suggest a loss of income for you, but your partner may see a fluctuation. Either way, having a little extra set aside could provide reassurance. Scorpio rising. With the moon illuminating your 8th house, you may feel a strong desire to grow closer to someone. The intensity of your feelings may surprise you and make you question whether the connection is real. If this is happening within an established relationship, enjoy the deepening bond as mind, body and soul come together. If you are drawn to someone new, give it a few days to see whether the feelings endure. The spark may feel unexpected, especially if the person you are with is usually steady or practical. During this full moon, you may see another side of them. They might be more innovative, adventurous or intellectually stimulating than you realized. Their words or actions could excite your mind, which in turn opens your heart. You may experience an increase in income this month, or something you own could rise in value. You may take on side gigs or receive an end-of-year bonus. You may also feel tempted to spend as soon as the money arrives, especially if you have been saving for something expensive or luxurious. Overall, you are in a good mood, but when it comes to creative projects, you may wrestle with self-doubt. Do not worry. By next spring, you will be far more focused and productive. For now, you are developing long-term plans and goals, and if you are single, you may be thinking about how to build a committed partnership in the future. Sagittarius rising. The Gemini full moon lights up your 7th house of relationships, prompting you to ask what qualities you value in a partner and what you bring to the table. You may think an ideal partner is someone who supports your beliefs and listens to your long explanations. But what you may truly need is someone who asks questions that help you see both sides of a situation. This is a favorable time for attracting someone special. The key is to pause before making judgments and allow yourself to truly get to know the person. Active listening, instead of planning what you want to say next, can help you build a relationship with real substance. If you are already partnered, this same approach can deepen your bond. There is always more to uncover, even if you have been together for decades. You may receive intuitive insights this week, either through dreams or while going about daily routines. You may discover a new way to handle an old issue or find inspiration by removing tasks and processes that do not yield results. If you want to implement major changes, test them first and make sure co-workers and supervisors are aligned. If they are not, find a gentler way to create freedom within your current structure. Sometimes something as simple as redirecting emails to specific folders can save hours of time. This is also a good time to revisit past business deals or missed opportunities. You may find a way to revive them and generate more income. Just be prepared to take responsibility if something slipped through the cracks. Your ability to troubleshoot can benefit both you and anyone you share resources with. Capricorn rising. The Gemini full moon casts light on your routines. If you have been neglecting your physical or mental health, this lunation reminds you to schedule necessary appointments and build a daily rhythm that supports your well-being. Cravings for sweets may intensify, and moderation can help. Buying single servings rather than a full package can keep things balanced. You may have visited a friend or relative in the hospital recently. Your presence brought comfort, even if they could not express it. Being there may have given you a deeper understanding of the life cycle and how each stage shapes our growth. Creativity is alive for you. You may have many projects you want to begin, art you want to create, or groups you want to participate in. If possible, gather friends and do something that benefits others while also being enjoyable, such as a toy drive or letter writing campaign. This is also a lovely time to plan activities with your partner that support your neighborhood or community. Volunteering at a soup kitchen or fostering animals could bring you two closer while making a meaningful impact. You may also feel nostalgic, looking through old photos or revisiting childhood places that hold significance. Aquarius rising. If you are single, you may surprise yourself by wanting to date again, even if it has been a long time. The Gemini full moon in your 5th house brings out your playful, flirtatious side. Go out with friends to places where people interact, such as a piano bar, arcade, or a sports venue. Remind yourself that you need to be visible in order to meet someone. You may also be dreaming of relocating to another country, and may have had a creative idea that could help you secure a residence abroad. The main question is how you will earn a living. You may be exploring ways to bring your work online, whether through content creation or seeing clients virtually. There may be an innovative direction waiting for you that blends technology with your career. Your biggest concern right now is financial stability. You may have taken on extra work to support your goals, but you are trying to figure out a long-term plan. This is a period where you are piecing everything together and refining what you truly want over the next several years. It is about balancing your values, your work, and your desire to make an impact. You may not be able to implement everything until next year, as some resources are still being drained. There is also a strong chance of meeting a business or romantic partner in the second half of 2026, and that connection could help everything fall into place. For now, reflect, journal, and clarify your heart's desire. Let your manifestations unfold when the timing is right. Pisces rising. Home and family stir your emotions under the Gemini full moon in your 4th house. You may feel optimistic, joyful, and aligned with your current path in both family life and career. There is a good chance of receiving a raise in the next couple of weeks, or at least getting acknowledgement that one is coming early next year. Make sure you do not minimize yourself. Clearly communicate the leadership you have shown and the actions you have taken. You may also feel drawn to personal development, parenting resources, or classes that support your career. Even if you are not taking a formal class, you may be reading about topics that mirror your life circumstances. For example, if you are a new parent, you may be studying child development. As you gather information, you may have an epiphany about trusting your instincts or realizing that there is no single correct way to approach things. The energy around you is fertile, both literally and metaphorically. You can create long-term plans with clarity and inspiration. If you want to expand your family, this is a supportive time. If you want to take on new responsibilities or return to school, the momentum is with you. Final thoughts on the Gemini full moon. This is the last full moon of 2025, and it challenges us to ask important questions and make meaningful connections with others. The horoscopes are a guide, but they do not tell the whole story. Your own chart will add layers, and your personal exploration may reveal other outlets for your expression. Be aware that the new moon in Sagittarius is ripe for manifestation, and you can get an early start on your resolutions. Think deeply now, while Mercury is in Scorpio, about where you have been and where you want to go. Meaningful changes are right around the corner.